Was it NBA Countdown that he wanted you removed from?
Yes, he wanted me replaced.
This is Michelle Beadle, former ESPN host, being asked of an allegation LeBron James wanted her off the network.
You know, there was a rumor that he got you fired from ESPN, so I can understand why you don't like him. So
he did try. Yep. He did try to do that. I was like, wow, I'm honored that I'm even on your mind. Thank you very much, sir. That's a weird place for me to be.
It is a story of an ESPN darling, an alleged confidant of James and longtime media member Rachel Nichols, and the powers of those in sports controlling the media we consume.
I can only think of a couple reasons why, and one of them was I made fun of the decision along with, 75 million other talking heads at the time. And so it's always been awkward to me, but knowing now that he tried to have me actually fired is such a personal thing that no matter what, and I know people want to say, get over it, whatever. Well, you know what? Until LeBron James goes into your place of employment and asks for you to be fired, don't tell me to get over it. That's a weird thing for a guy on his level to do to somebody on my level.
Beadle claims it stems from The Decision, a show ESPN put together to announce where James would play in the upcoming 2010-11 season. He ultimately uttered those famous words.
In this fall, I'm going to take my talents to South Beach and join the Miami Heat.
Miami Heat. That was the conclusion you woke up with this morning.
That was the conclusion I woke up with this morning.
And the rest is history, though prior to the announcement, Beadle would tweet, seriously, after retweeting a message that James would be announcing where he'd be playing basketball. According to Beadle, James hated this.
But then I found out after the fact, like when all this sort of came out, I would get messages or I would get like texts or video from people being like, exact same, like that kind of was happening to them too. Like he was super petty and he would try to have some sort of an effect, whether it be small, but whatever, like just an effect. It's almost like to exhibit your power, I guess.
Ultimately, per Beadle, the network didn't budge.
He didn't get his way. No one got their actual way when it was all said and done, which is kind of the ultimate humor in the entire situation. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I will never know. And that's fine.
You don't want to know, like his team hasn't reached out or no one.
They won't even. They don't acknowledge me. I've been around them a few times. Either my hand was ignored when I held it out for a handshake, or
no way.
My presence was just not even acknowledged, even though there were 3 people standing there.
Though she would learn a name the James camp allegedly preferred.
He wanted me replaced with Rachel Nichols, and that's what started all of that. Like it was a whole thing.
Didn't he DM you though too and say you were being mean to him?
Yeah, mean. Oh yeah, I did get a DM about being mean.
On the House of Strauss podcast, hosted by Ethan Strauss, Beadle would say he, as in LeBron, had a person at the network he wanted. He wanted her to be the host of Countdown. He does not like me, and I honestly have stopped trying to figure out why. For some reason, it goes back years. I've been around Maverick Carter. He refuses to shake my hand. As we know, Nichols did host the show until 2021, when she was removed after being caught on audio making disparaging remarks about Maria Taylor after she was selected to host ESPN's 2020 NBA Finals coverage.
You need to give her more things to do because you're feeling pressure about your crappy long-time record on diversity, which, by the way, I myself know personally from the female side of it. Go for it. Just, find it somewhere else. You're not going to find it with me, then taking my thing away.
That recording, which somehow saw the light of day, was reported and went to air on the New York Times' website.
Hey, black woman, I just wanted you to know that you're pretty dope.
Taylor, after hearing this, left the network and moved to NBC Sports. When the news broke, Beadle tweeted a Goodfellas gif mocking Rachel Nichols.
Did you have a working relationship with Rachel Nichols before she replaced you on Countdown?
We were civil. Some people I don't trust in this business. That's one of them.
Do you think that Rachel Nichols personally influenced your departure from Countdown?
Yeah, I do. I mean, look, she ultimately is not that powerful, but I think some of the narrative that was being allowed to be played out, specifically in the New York Post at the time, I knew where it was coming from. We all knew where it was coming from, and it wasn't being stopped, which is unfortunate.
Beadle would work for ESPN 2 different times. She hosted Sports Nation from 2009 to 2012. She left for NBC Sports, returned to ESPN in 2014, hosted Sports Nation again, eventually landed as host of Countdown, and then exited the company altogether in 2019. She currently works as part of the San Antonio Spurs broadcast team, though she still remains perplexed by all of this to this day.